Hello, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. How are you, viewers? It's another Tuesday. It's another session with you, Amiable Toyo. You're on to be unashamed with Amiable Toyo. My name is Oluwatoyo Sifaloye. I want to appreciate every one of you who has been joining since this session has started, like program. Thank you all for supporting Be Unashamed, for supporting me. And I want to return all the glory to the Almighty God who has been my strength, who has been the supplier of the grace, and everything that I put out here has been from Him. It has not been by my power or by might. It doesn't come to me by myself. Even if I make some research and all that, if they do not, hi Harry, long time, good afternoon. If his anointing is not on it, it will not benefit anyone. And so I return all the glory to God. Okay, so today we'll be talking about why you should thank you, why you should tell somebody. Last week I spoke about why young children, like the kids, a child won't speak up, which I done earlier, but I took down the video for some reasons and I had to redo it again. And then it had a part 2, which is why an adult wouldn't speak up. And so there are so many reasons why you do not speak up, part of which maybe guilt, shame, fear, threat from abusers, the feeling of unworthiness, disappoint. Maybe you feel like you have disappointed the people who put their trust in you. Maybe there is lack of relationship between the parent, or maybe guidance to the world or the children. For so many reasons you might not want to speak up, and for so many reasons you should speak up. You should tell someone. Okay, so we'll be looking at the first reason why you should speak up. Why? For yourself, for the sake of yourself, your sanity. By this I mean the effects on you. I've always spoken about the effect of sexual abuse on victims. You can check through my videos and you can listen to it. And if you are not comfortable with Facebook, you can also see it on YouTube channel, Be Unashamed with Amiable Toyo. It's also there. You can see it. Okay, so I said you should speak up for yourself. One of the reasons is that it has a present effect on you and a future effect on you and others. Now, the present effect, which is majorly for your own sake, it affects your behavior. By this I mean you become more aggressive. You become because in a way to defend yourself, you might start seeing everyone or any lookalike of your abuser to be an abuser, and you want to avoid coming close to anybody like that. By this, even if you are a child, or an adult, if it's a child, the child might end up being aggressive towards his or her mate in school, fighting them, telling them off, rebuffing them. You don't want to associate with anybody. You feel downcast most of the time. You don't see yourself associating with people anymore. Your reaction to things have become so different. The way you react to things, ordinarily where someone will tell you, are you okay? It's just a question, and then next thing, you are the one who is not okay. You are crazy. You are mad. Are you asking me that question? It is not because of what that person has said. It's because of what is going on the inside of you. You are just reacting. And I think most of us have come to understand now that our reaction is as a result of our thoughts. is our thought is the, let me say, the foundation, the catalyst for our reactions, for the things that we do that people see. And then you become withdrawn, isolation. When you are not a COVID victim, pardon me, but you decide, you end up being isolated. You become mute. Some children even end up becoming dumb, not like they are dumb that they can't talk, but you just find out that they don't talk much anymore. And there was a movie I watched, and Ovi's voice, the lady, everybody assumed her to be a dumb person. Meanwhile, she wasn't dumb. She kept quiet because of the things that had happened to her. I think her father was raping her while she was young, and so in order just to keep things to herself and just try to take them off her mind and put them behind her memory, she decided to keep mute and not even talk to anybody. And although she found love, it was when the guy wanted to make love to her, her reaction was very bad, and the guy was, "What's wrong with you?" And that was when she spoke for the first time, and the guy was shocked that you can speak, you can actually talk. Some of these things, sexual abuse is one of the reasons why a child might go mute. In case if you do not know, they do that. They just act numb and dumb. And so you become withdrawn. Your usual self, the usual activities that gets you excited, that makes you want to go out, you just the people, you just notice that you don't want to do that anymore. You don't want to associate with people. You don't want to play with your playmates, with your peers, with your groups. You don't want to participate in maybe in a class group work or something. You don't want to attend parties. You don't, maybe as an adult, probably someone even have an idea of what has happened to you, or even if no one has an idea, maybe the feeling of guilt and shame makes you just become withdrawn. You hold back. You do not associate anymore. You just want to be left alone. You just want to be in your room. Your life is now in a circle. Maybe you just go to school, you come back home, maybe you go to a restaurant if that is necessary. Maybe you are white or something. It's not really common in the black here. You go to the store, you buy something, your grocery, you get it, you bring it back home. That is all that you do. You do not associate anymore. And that is not a good way of living. Another thing is a lack of trust. If a child understand that what is going on, or what is wrong, what went wrong, what happened rather was wrong, or what is going on is wrong, the child starts, he or she develop a lack of trust towards almost everybody, and in a situation whereby maybe the child comes to open up to mother or father, or maybe an older one, and the person doesn't believe, the child will just assume that you all are the same. I've read different stories where a child will go to tell, and they will tell her not to talk, like she should, that it's nothing, they're just playing with you, you don't have to say that out, it's meant to be a family secret. And then there was one I read yesterday, and it was the older cousin, I guess, if I remember, was molesting them at the back of their father's truck. And then an older cousin saw them through the window, went to report to the parents. They called her in, checked her body. They didn't really make anything of it. And then the one that saw them, that went to report, ended up molesting her, because when he found out that there was nothing done to it, there was no protest, there was no no reaction, it went on. And then other ones, and it was so unfortunate that all our abusers were family members. There were like 6 or 7 of them, like you said, or 8 of them abused that till adulthood, just because some people did not believe. And so that she said it has been so difficult trusting people, that even our relationship have not been very good, because she always feel like she cannot really trust them. she can't really rely on them. She doesn't even know who is who anymore, and so she doesn't even keep relationship for a long time. She dates and she breaks up, date and breaks up, because she cannot trust. And this is not a good thing. But I want to tell you that the moment you start talking, you start building your trust again. So another thing is you become violent, like being aggressive, being violent is, I'll say it's almost the same thing, so I'll just jump that. Then disease, when you do not speak up, probably you are a child, even as an adult, maybe you're the feeling of guilt or shame, embarrassment, disappointment, you end up catching some disease that if you do not talk, maybe if you tell someone, the person might, alert you on the infections that might have occurred as a result of maybe the rape or molestation, maybe HIV, different kinds of disease that you might have contracted as a result of that. But because you are ashamed, but because you are scared, you are afraid, you keep it to yourself, then the infection just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading, and maybe it might even be in later years that you will find out that this happened as a result of this. And then it may be something you just need to take paracetamol for, start taking different kinds of antibiotics, which might not have been necessary if it was detected early enough. So these are one of the reasons why you need to tell somebody, because of your own self, for your sake, for your health, for your sanity. Another one is untreated injuries, maybe because of you are scared. Hi brother PC. Because you are scared, you do not want, what's this? Excuse me. Because you are scared, you do not want to know what. Thanks for joining. You do not, you don't want people to know what is going on with you. Maybe you have a broken arm, maybe you have injury already, you just keep managing it all by yourself. And then you find out that we all have different bodies. The way we react to things are very different. I have a friend that if you just slap her, just a little slap will inflict like an injury on her, and it will swell up, and the swelling does not go down. It remains like that for like maybe she can do surgery to it, I don't know, but they are always there. This is what I know myself. This is someone that is very close to me. And then I realize even my little nephew, if he has a little bit of tap, even ordinary mosquito bites, the way he reacts on his body is different. Me, if you slap me, nobody might really know. Even if I have cuts in maybe in less than a month, the scar is gone. But we are all different. And then some people, we have our body to heal fast, some don't. Hi Eva, thanks for joining. Some don't. Our skin are very different. The way our body heals up is different. Some have a very fast healing process, some do not. Some takes a while. And so because of that, you have to tell. Maybe you need to just visit a doctor. You might not necessarily tell the doctor what has happened to you if you feel like you don't want to expose yourself, you don't want to tell what has happened, but just for the sake of your body, your skin, and your future, you don't want to keep carrying around injuries, keep plastering for many years, when you just need to just walk into maybe a pharmacy or a store and you get treated. All this for your own sake, for yourself. All right, now all I've been talking about is the present effects of the reasons why you should talk. Now I'm going to talk about the future effects of the, like, you need to tell somebody because of some trouble with seeing me. Really, maybe you should go back and come back in. Eva is having trouble with seeing me. Maybe you should go out and come back in. It might be the technical issue. Okay, so now I want to talk about the future effect, like the effect it can have on you and others around you. All right, so here I have, like, it is not only for only you anymore, but people that come into your life, your children, your partner, your spouse, and different kinds of people. Is pair part. How you do? You become an aggressive mother. I was talking to to someone last week. The person was making comments on my previous last week video, and the person was talking about how angry he is, how if he was allowed he would have dealt with the abusers of his siblings. And I was like, calm down. Can you accept to be a part of your live video? Really? Please give me a minute. Okay. I think what you are requesting is for you to join me live, but I don't know if that's exactly what I'm getting here. Can you see me now? If you cannot see me, can you even hear me at all? View players to be part of you. I don't know what is going on, but okay. So like I was saying, you become an aggressive mother, and it was a murderer, and he was saying like if they allow him, he's going to kill them. But I think maybe the perpetrator is now in jail, and so there's nothing he can do. But if he was permitted, he would have, and even if right now he can still do it because he's so angry. They took away a lot of things from them, and I'm like, please calm down. You cannot do that. This is all because he was not even the one that was molested. His sister. And he's so angry. Now, come to think of it, if you were the one. You can see me and hear me. Let me know if you can see and hear me, Eva. If what can you imagine what happens if it was to be all right? The molester didn't get far away. He probably might have murdered him. Okay, sorry. Murdered him. And it happened that in future days, because of the anger you have bottled up in you, the resentment, and maybe the way the thing has affected you, you just want to revenge. You want to revenge. And even if you do not revenge on your abuser, maybe your child, you realize that someone close to you is being abused now. That triggers something on the inside of you, and you want to react almost immediately. And the next thing is you just go out to kill someone just because you are still hurting inside. But if you tell someone, I can assure you that even though there are some wounds that the scar never go away, which is one of it is sexual abuse. It remains in your mind. I have been abused. But even if you are not completely healed, the level of your healing will be very high. The level of the progress that you have in your healing will be high, and then you won't have that thought of killing someone, hurting someone because someone had done this to you. You want to do it back to the person. No. Another thing is maybe you become an aggressive teacher. If you end up being a teacher or a coach, you are doing it with passion, but the aggression is still there. You are doing it from the point of pain, not from the point of understanding and pleasure anymore. You are, maybe you want to defend someone now, and you just beating the person, just keep beating the person, you're beating the person. But it's a different thing. Like maybe when you want to correct a child, you carry a cane and you start, hitting the child, is totally different from you calling a child, have a child to sit down and talking to a child, correcting a child. You are doing the same. You are trying to pass the same message, but in different ways. You can be you might believe that beating a child is the best way to correct someone, but that might be out of aggression. That might be out of a passion that was built from aggression. You are not doing it from the point of, okay, like, if I'm talking to you, I was abused, right? As I'm talking to you right now, it's possible for me to be telling you this from the point of pain because I have not healed. And I'm telling you that when you're abused, the next thing you want to do is look out for your abuser, beat them up, get them arrested, do this and all that. It will be different from the way I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking from the point of pleasure right now because I have healed. It's easier for me to talk about it. It's very easy for me to give you an explanation, to explain it from my heart to you right now. But if I am doing it from the point of pain, where I still feel like this person did hurt me, and so I still want to get back at him, it will be a different way. I will be talking to you from a different point of view right now. So that's what I'm talking about. Maybe you are a teacher, you teach your young pupils or maybe students. The way you react to a child might be from, maybe you are still thinking, maybe the thoughts of what happened to you, maybe you had a flashback over the night, you had a nightmare about it last night, and then when you get to your classroom, or maybe when you get to maybe your office, is still on you and you react immediately. Maybe one of your staff is meant to have dropped a file, and maybe it is because due to one reason or the other that if she explains to you, you would have understood and taken it like, oh, okay, I will wait. But because of the pain you're coming from, with, you just start yelling at her or yelling at him, and you react, and your reaction becomes so very irrational, and the worker will just look at you like, the staff will look like, maybe they have not even seen you like that before, and they'll be wondering, what's wrong with you? Why is he reacting like that? So another thing is aggressive mother or father. All you do is shout on your children because you are hurting. You never dealt with your past. Recently I was having some issues, mindset issues, excuse me, and I happened to fortunately, my coach was having a seminar, and so I joined, and she was talking on my mindset, so it was just timely for me. And she was talking about, if you do not deal with the root cause, you will end up being the same person. Like, maybe if someone hurts you, you will end up doing the same thing again because you did not break that pattern. Because you didn't check, like, okay, maybe you have even been reacting in a way and you didn't take time to sit down and ask yourself, when did this start? How did this start? Why did this start? Why am I behaving like this? But the moment you are able to tell yourself, the moment you are able to find out why this happened to you, then you will know what to deal with. Then you will know how to deal with it. But when you do not know, when you don't deal with it, if maybe early enough, or you still do not sit back to think about, why am I reacting this way? Why am I behaving this way? Why am I treating my children this way? Maybe your father was abusive, or of your mom, and then you feel like that is just the right way to handle your wife too, or your children. Maybe your father is the type that when you hear his car, the sound of his car, you run into your room like a rat that has been caught, because he runs a military home, a military cantonment. But it shouldn't be like that. That is one of the reasons you need to tell someone, so that you can get help, so that you can get healed, so that you can get you can break free from your shame, from your guilt, and healing for the brokenness. You don't have to allow your past to ruin your future, to ruin your present. Deal with it. Deal with it. Another thing is, you keep walking and living in the same shame and darkness, which continually have a rule over you. Whatever it is that you don't deal with, it has a way of ruling you, taking control of your mind. Maybe your father was abusive. You keep telling yourself, I will not be abusive. I will never abuse my wife. I will not do what my father did to my mother. I will not do what my mother did to my father, or my father did to me. It's not by mouth though. It's not just by confession. You have to take steps. Maybe you need to go for counseling. Maybe you need to get a therapy. Maybe you need to talk to someone. You need to allow someone to put you through, to hold your hands and help you. You need to pray, get counseled, get therapy, whatever it is that you think is necessary for you to just get out of that mindset, that whatever it is that is going on in your life. If you do not deal with it, it has a way of ruling you, and it will keep doing that, and you end up living your life in darkness because you have not dealt with what is wrong with you. And then you keep passing it on. It doesn't stop with you, because it's the same way you will be reacting to your children, and then they will feel it is the right way to do it. They will continue, and it becomes a generational thing. But until you break that pattern, this is not going to continue. It has to stop. Then you realize that I have to take some steps to stop this, and you will find out that it works. Things begin to change. Do not expect overnight turnaround, 100% change immediately. It can take years. But be patient with yourself. Be patient with maybe your child, maybe your brother, your sister, your mother, your brother. Be patient. It takes time. Whatever it is that has happened to you is a seed that has been sown. You have to cut it, trim it, burn it, do several things just to take it out of yourself. And then finally, you can end up becoming an abuser yourself. Yes, I've read stories, I've heard stories, and I've had reasons. I have reasons to believe that if you do not deal with what has happened to you, if you do not tell someone, if you don't get help, if you don't get healed, you will become an abuser. Because you don't even know what is right from what is wrong anymore. You are sad, you are depressed, and the only way to calm yourself or relieve yourself is to take it out on someone else. You abuse your child, you abuse your neighbor's child, you abuse your neighbor, you abuse your trusted friends, people who are meant to rely on you. I read a story recently, and the guy was telling the child, like, my father did that to me. And he wasn't doing it now because he's a bad person, but he couldn't even control himself, because that thing kept playing in his mind, and he did it. He acted it out. He kept playing and he acted it out. But if he had talked, if he had told someone, now he was telling the child, what can the child do? Thank you, Eva. I really appreciate that. Yes, I look forward to doing that. You end up abusing your children. You end up even destroying your own life. You might not even have a good relationship with people. You might not have a good future, just because you refuse to deal with something, just because you are bottling something up. You need to, spill it out. For your sake, for the sake of your children, for the sake of people that are around you. Do not forget that whatever it is that had happened to you, the devil meant it for evil. Just like Joseph. He said you meant it for evil, but you never knew the plans of God. He meant it for good, to prepare me, to prepare a place for you. I believe that everything that has happened to me in my life is one of the reasons I am here to speak to you today. If I've not been through this, I cannot come and speak about it because I wouldn't know so much. But accept it like, okay, this has happened, but I'm not going to dwell in it. I'm not going to live my life, wallowing in pity and all that. Rise up. You can beat it. So, again, when you tell, this has come to when you tell. What are the things that you will gain? What are the things that will happen to you when you tell? Yes, I intend doing that. I want to talk to children, to teachers, to parents, even in churches. Yes, I intend doing that. Thank you. All right. So the first thing you feel when you tell someone, you feel a sense of burden is lifted off you. I read a story of a guy that he kept it on. He didn't even understand what happened to him until maybe like 21 years. After 21 years. And one day, they were in a party or maybe in a club or something. They were with his friends. And he just told a friend. Okay, he said the things started coming up. At a point, okay, I don't really know how to put this, but I read something like, some things happen and they go into your back memory. I've forgotten what that is called. And because you do not understand, and then when you start growing older, it comes to your to play out now, like, and then you start to understanding what happened. You start placing one thing or the other. Like me, I never knew what was going on with me. Was called molestation, was called abuse. I didn't understand. I didn't know. And so when I started understanding, that was when I started hearing this is sexual abuse, and then I started putting 1, 2 together. I'm like, oh, so I was abused, I was molested. I didn't know. And so some of those things happen, and then they're in our back memory. Forgetting what that is called. And then when you start growing older, when your brain can analyze it and you can understand, then it starts playing back to you. Then you can start relating 1, 2 things together and start putting 2 things together, and you understand what has happened to you. And so this was what happened to this guy. He didn't understand what happened to him. And so when he got to like his ages 21, 22, all those things, the memories start coming back to him. He would dream, maybe if he's walking, and then he said he watched a TV program, and then they were talking about, and then he remembered something like this has happened to me. And with that, he understood what happened to him, and he told a friend. He said the moment he told a friend, that very minute he told a friend, he felt relieved. He felt a sense of freedom, and he was happy, like, oh, so this is it. And from there, he told another friend, told another friend, told another friend, told another friend, and that was it. And so he's out now to talk to his abuser, but unfortunately his abuser got him charged to court because of one reason or the other. So he's in court now. Charged to court by his abuser. You can imagine that. But anyways, he has understood what happened to him, and so he's dealing with it. And he said he needs to talk to his abuser. But you feel a sense of burden lifted off you. You feel some sense of relief, sense of freedom. And then your healing starts from there. The moment you start telling someone, you start speaking, you feel relieved. And then whatever it is you hear from people, like, really, so sorry about that. Not like, oh, did you tell? That was your fault. It depends on the reaction you get from people anyway. So you need to be careful the kind of people you talk to. And so your healing starts from there. You start feeling relief. You start feeling happy. You want to do some things, and then from there you might even discover your purpose. Like, okay, this is what I have to do. You might find out that you can do this just because of what has happened to you. And then you get help. when you talk, when you tell someone, that is when you can get help. If you keep it to yourself, the only help you can get, maybe if you are a believer, is God. And I must tell you that even when you are talking to God, He will lead you to a physical human being that can help you. God will not descend from heaven to help you. You need someone here on earth to help you. When you tell, you get help. You get healed. Maybe you need to be treated. Maybe a friend has to help you to even speak on your behalf. You get help. Maybe your story needs to be told. You get help. Maybe you need to get your abuser arrested. Whatever that you have to do, you get help. But if you are keeping it all to yourself, there is nothing anybody can do to you, because how will I know what is going on the inside of you if you do not tell me? How can I help you when all I see you do is you just keep crying? You just keep crying, and I'm asking, what is wrong with you? And telling me nothing. If you keep telling me nothing, there is really nothing I can do for you, because I wouldn't know where to start from or what is wrong with you to know what I can do for you. And then, for the sake of others, all what I've mentioned now, for you, for the sake of others, you are telling your story for others to know that they are not alone. When I started telling my story, that was when I started seeing my friends coming up to tell me I was abused. This one, I was abused. That one, I was abused. Now they started to understand that they were not alone, that it didn't happen to them alone. Like they're not different. Because lots of I've read stories where kids will say that they felt that they were different, and that is why they should be abused. They don't deserve it, they were unworthy. But that is not true. You are not different. You are just the same, like me, like myself, like Jay, like Eva. We all the same. We are all human. You are not different. Circumstances just make us different. You give others. If you want your abuser to be prosecuted, it saves others from falling victim. Okay, fine. When you talk, maybe your abuser is someone that you know very well. When you talk, you have exposed that person. Others around you will know that this person is someone that can abuse my child. They tend to start keeping their children away from such a person. And even if the person might even need help, you don't know. Some people do not just abuse because they want to do it, because that is their way of life. Some just do it, and eventually when they finish doing it, they feel so sorry for what they have done, and you realize that they even need help. It is not only us, victims, survivors, that need help. Some of our abusers need help. Some need to be taken to the psychiatrist. Some need counseling. Some need therapy. A lot of us need help. But it is only when you speak up. It is only when you tell someone that you can get people to even help you, maybe to arrest your abuser and saving others from falling victim of his evil acts. Then, because you don't even know if you are not even their only victim, maybe they have done it to others before, and when you speak, it encourages others to want to come out and speak and say, okay, this person had done this to me before, but I wasn't courageous enough, I wasn't bold enough to come and speak like you have, but because you have spoken, it has given me a sense of, an encouragement and a boldness to also tell my story, just because you are telling somebody, just because you speak up. Another thing is, when you tell someone, it is possible the person had no idea about a thing like that. Probably you are my friend and you come to tell me like you were abused, and when you start narrating your story, then it dawns on me like, this thing has happened to me before. Is that what it is called? You are helping me, and maybe I've been having some terrible feelings, some reactions as a result of that. What you have done is saving me. You are helping me. So when you speak up, you are helping others. You are not just helping yourself, you are helping others. When you tell, it encourages others want to talk. like I said earlier, and you might end up being a help to them, just like the way I am doing right now. I've spoken on different topics: why a child will not talk, the signs you need to look out for, the reasons, the causes, the effects of sexual abuse. You know, a lot of us never knew this, the way you should react. I remember a friend, you know, commenting in one of my videos, and when I was talking about how you should react when if someone comes to tell you about child abuse, and she was like, if she had known this, she wouldn't have reacted the way she did to her daughter, that made that girl black out and, you know, just hold back and was not ready to see anything anymore. But because I have known this, I am helping others. Now she knows she can also help others. Now you know you can also help others. Whatever that has happened to you, don't let it be it is not the end of your life. In fact, I can tell you that it is a stepping stone for you. Don't let it ruin you. Don't let it destroy you. All the plans you have, you can still achieve them. Be Unashamed is a platform for you. Maybe you want to speak, you want to tell someone, maybe you even want your identity to be told, you want to remain anonymous. It is fine. You want to share your story, you don't want your face to show, you can check through my videos. I've had a guest like that who shared the story as a male victim, and you know, no one knows his identity. It can be like that. And if you also want to come up bolder like this, you can also do it. You can. I'm just a message away. And if you believe that this video has helped you, do not forget to share it. Do not forget to tag someone. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Be Unashamed with Amiable Toyo, and follow my page at Be Unashamed. Like Eva was saying the other time, yes, I have the plans. Be Unashamed is working towards that, getting this registered as a foundation so that we can help victims, you know, and if possibly have some departments working with us, like the police, the lawyers, hospitals and all that, so that maybe we have victims that need to be treated, maybe we can get their abusers arrested and all that. We are working towards that, and I know that with your support that will be achievable. I want to appreciate every one of you that has joined today. IJM, Ava, Michael, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for your support. 2 sides ago. I've come to the end of today's session. So till next week again, 1 p.m. every Tuesday, your Amiable Toyo will be here to, you know, inch you on things that you need to know, things you need to do, how you need to react, things you need to avoid concerning sexual abuse. Maybe you have a child, you feel like she needs someone to talk to her, she needs someone to confide in. Please, my ears are very sharp and open. I have a very listening ear. We need to empathize with each other. I am available. I am just a message away. Thank you once again. See you next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to subscribe and follow my page at Be Unashamed. Love you. Bye.